Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we'll be playing Shuudan and giving you guys a skill tier list. A lot of you guys were asking for this in my Discord and the Shuudan Discord. So yeah, I'm just gonna make this video real quick so you guys know what skills to get and which skills to prioritize. If you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe. My current goal is 3,000 subscribers, and yeah, let's get right into the video. Alright, so obviously I'll name all the skills first and then I'll be ranking them. So the first little passive tree that I'll be going over is going to be the defensive one. So there is shoulder charge, which is alright. Scythe cut is pretty good, and then there's also center of gravity full burst. So that is all the skills for defensive. There's only one skill for GTA, which is handstand block. I personally haven't used it, but I've heard that it's kind of decent. For stamina, I don't believe that there really is one. The only stamina thing I believe is the sprinting cut, and then I believe there's also a stamina passive somewhere in there. The stamina passive might just be that stamina cut though. And then for jump, you can get dive header, which is alright. I wouldn't highly recommend going for it though. Then that is also how you unlock an air trap. Then the most important one, in my opinion, is going to be speed, because obviously you want to be fast. And this one gives you dodge speed. I'll be going into more about dodge speed a bit later on. And then this is also how you get high speed scissors, which is a pretty alright dribble move. And the next thing is going to be power. You go all the way up on here. You have to go up on power to actually obtain a special skill, which I'll go into a bit later on as well. And then you can also get explosion shot, which is really good for passing. Then the last one is going to be control, which is just meant for dribbling. I highly recommend doing control just a bit later on after you get speed up. But yeah, this one you can get the mock cut-ins, you can get black hole trap. This is also how you get Kaiser impact, which is probably the best special move. But yeah, now to rank all the skills in my personal opinion. So for S tier is what I'll be going over first. So obviously I'm gonna have to put dodge speed in there. Dodge speed is probably the best skill in the game. Keep in mind you can only use it whenever you don't have the ball equipped. In testing, whenever you did have the ball, it was super broken, so they might change that in the future if people start complaining about it. But for now, you can only use dodge speed when you don't have the ball on you. But it is still very useful, probably the best skill in the game in my current opinion. And then the only other thing that will be going into S tier for now is going to be Kaiser Impact. Kaiser Impact is by far the best special move out of all of them. It's just the fastest one, it's the most accurate one, and the one with the least amount of time to actually activate it. So now for A tier will probably be the rest of the special moves. All of them are relatively around the same. And then I will also be putting the defensive moves in A tier, pretty much all of them. Scythe cut is the only one that I would put in like A+. It's not yet S tier, but it is definitely the best defensive move out of all of them. Considering center of gravity full burst, you can really only use when you have the ball, I believe. So there's no real point of even having it, in my opinion. Unless if you are going to be using it for offense, then it is a really great skill. But yeah, center of gravity will be getting an A. Shoulder charge will be getting an A, and then I would probably say scythe cut is probably like an A+ or a low S tier in my opinion. I'm just going to leave it in A tier for now. The last thing that I will be putting into this tier is going to be the mock cut-ins, the left and the right one. They're both really good for dribbling and definitely by far better than the high-speed scissors. But yeah, that is all for A tier. And now the next thing is going to be B tier. These are skills that are still really good. I just wouldn't prioritize them. So in here, I'm going to have an air trap. An air trap is really, really good if you know how to use it. The problem is that it's hard to use and honestly takes a lot of skill points to you actually unlock, because you need to pretty much max out your jump one and get pretty far in control as well. Now the next thing I'll be putting in here is going to be high-speed scissors and black hole trap as well. Now, personally, I haven't actually seen Black Hole Trap in-game, but I've heard that it's pretty much just an air trap, but slightly better. So yeah, that's obviously going to have to go in here as well. And then high-speed scissors is just like a worse version of the mock cut-ins. It's still not a bad skill. It's just one of those ones that I wouldn't prioritize. Then obviously, for GKs, if I haven't already said it, then obviously if I already said it, then that's wherever it goes, but I don't remember. So for now, I'm gonna put handstand block. The only reason why handstand block is in this tier is because it's only for GKs. If it was obviously like an overall skill, like how useful it is for every position, then obviously it's B tier. But if we're talking about how useful it is for GKs by itself, then it's S tier. If you're a GK, you need to get this skill. But for the average person, this skill is just not needed, so that's why it's gonna go in B tier. And then pretty much everything else will just be going in whatever is below. So C tier, that will be dive header and explosion shot, I believe are the only two moves that I haven't said yet. The reason why these are so low is because dive header is very situational and you probably never actually find a use for it. And explosion shot, I used to say was S tier, but now they changed it. It doesn't go nearly as far. You barely use it to actually score. It's mainly meant for passing now. That doesn't mean that it's a bad skill, it's just dive header and explosion shot would be one of the skills that I don't recommend you to get. So now I'll be showing you guys which ones I actually recommend you get first. So what I did first is I personally went for dodge speed because that's the most useful one, and then I actually went down in the defensive skill tree. Now keep in mind I only was able to do this because I was a tester and had a little bit extra skill points than everyone else. So yeah, then I got shoulder charge and scythe cut, and then I stopped going through defensive, and now I'm working towards power. This is what I recommend you all to do, because if you guys don't know, the special moves only work if you're in flow. So there's absolutely no reason to get them if you aren't like good at the game. Just get all the other skills that you need first and then go for a special shot. Personally, I do get flow like 3 times per game, but I just don't find it as useful to have a move that you can use once per game, because if you guys don't know, you can also only use special moves 1 time per game. And you have to have flow to use it, so I just don't see that as useful as having a move which I can use every like minute or every a minute and a half because of the cooldowns. But yeah, that's pretty much the tier list of all the skills. So if I had to go over it one last time, Kaiser Impact is the only special move that will be in S tier, and then also I would put dodge speed and scythe cut. Scythe cut is going to be like S minus A plus wherever you decide to put it, but it is definitely by far the best defensive move. And then the rest of A tier will be the rest of the defensive moves, and also the mock cut-ins. Then everything else you kind of put wherever. They're kind of all just like below average for skills. So yeah, that's pretty much the tier list. If you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and join my Discord down below. I'll have more content out on this game very soon. I just want to do this one real quick because a bunch of people were asking what the best skills are and which ones I recommend you guys grab. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.